Welcome back to the Stoke View. We are going to try and examine where did the rot first start to set in with Stoke City. Was it with Mark Hughes in the Premier League? Was it with Paul Lambert? Has it been setting in even before they were relegated? We're going to ask Liam what the hell is going on with Stoke, and we're going to preview their next game for the Potters, which is, of course, this Saturday at home against Middlesbrough. And we're joined by Lewis, who's also a miserable football fan at the moment, in red, as he joins us for this preview. Good evening, Lewis.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
All right, thank you. All right, Liam, let's focus on you. Lewis, I'll drop you out for a second and bring you back. Okay, Liam, rant at me. Where does the rot for Stoke City start?
Simple answer is when Peter Coates let go of the club and give it to his son, John. Every single decision from that point that he has made has been a bad one. We have spiralled out of control from that point onwards, whether it be in leaving Mark Hughes in for too long, sacking him too late, and then being in a relegation battle in the Premier League, so nobody wanted to come to us. Hiring Paul Lambert, giving Gary Rowett £50 million, hiring Nathan Jones, leaving him in too long, hiring Alex Neil, and then hiring his best friend as a technical director, who was pretty much Alex Neil with hair and a suit on, talked the talk, couldn't walk the walk. And then now we needed somebody experienced to try and fight us out of this relegation battle. We've ended up with Nathan Jones Mark II.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm from the Pottery, so I've got quite a number of Stoke fans as you have. And every year when they end up in this mission, they're like, no, we'll be all right. We're not playing as bad as the league position. This is the first time that they have said we are worried. Because they cannot see, like you can't see a plan B, not scoring, and the goals you're conceding week in, week out. I'm not even having the conversation with you this week because they're not even like goals which, are easy to look back and say, oh yeah, you could have done this. It's just stupid errors, isn't it? Every week.
We are dreadful. We are at this minute, since Sunderland beat us, we have been god awful.
Ricky Martin, and there's lots of jokes here, which we're not going to do any musical references, but Ricky Martin left the club this week. There were lots of Stoke fans saying that's happened too late as a decision. Do you first of all agree with that?
Yeah. He had the chance for this big rebuild with Alex Neil, and they've completely messed it up. He talks all the time about his KPIs, his key points of interest, and how well he can pick a player out with the recruitment team. And they decided that none of the points of interest that the striker should have should be able to score goals. None of his points of interest for the defenders are wanting to defend. It's just been I think when they sacked him, they said that he was shocked by it. And I'm like, what is the ego on the man to be shocked by getting the sack when he's done such a poor job over such a short space of time?
Yeah. All right, what should Stoke do now then? Because I'll put you one theory out that I've read 3 times and heard once on Radio Stoke, which is sack him now, bring in someone like Allardyce or Martin O'Neill or someone that can save you from relegation and start again in the summer. Why not?
It's really hard because I want him to succeed, but the tactics that he's playing, it's just, he went 5 at the back against QPR, like I said to you. He went a bit more pragmatic, gets 3 points, plays against Coventry, misses out on a point for a mistake, basically. We were good for a point. Fragile defence, so we go away to Cardiff, who've not scored at home for 4 games, keep it tight for 20 minutes, let the crowd go on his back. He goes back to 4 at the back. His right back, Junior Shamadou, who's a 19-year-old who they've signed from League Two, he's playing as an inverted right back centre midfielder. You've gone from 5 at the back to 3 lads at the back who can't defend anyway. If you've seen Colin Grant's goal, he just runs free into the box. Daniel Iverson, who I was excited we got, you saw him for Leicester against Everton when they got relegated. Yeah. He looks like he's never seen a football in his life. It's just, it's unbelievable at the minute, and I can't see us turning it around. Not with Schumacher there. He's in over his head, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He seems to have lost the plot. He's coming out and saying at the end of the games that we're playing well after we go 2 down. I mean, the other team just sits and watches have the ball when they're 2-0 down. It makes no odds to them.
Yeah, and I think Cardiff fans were in some portions singing "How bad must you be? We're winning at home," which I think sums it up, doesn't it? All right then. Let's bring in Middlesbrough, because I'll be honest with you, Liam. If this game was at the Riverside, I'd back Stoke to win it. But as bad as you are, but Lewis, you're glad that this game's away from the Riverside, aren't you, this weekend?
Absolutely, for many reasons. Yeah, we're pretty dreadful at home at the moment, and the atmosphere's turning a little bit. So yeah, it's probably a good thing for us that we're away, and certainly not a good thing for Liam.
Yeah, Liam. Okay, give us your starters and runners and riders then this weekend. What system does he need to bring back to 4 at the back? Does Luke Cundle get dropped? I've heard lots of criticisms about him.
I'd personally go back to 5 at the back and try to be more pragmatic and aim for a point and hope for a win than I would him. I said I was a die on your sword kind of guy last week, and he should play what he feels, but his tactics are that absurd for what the players we've got. It just doesn't make any sense. Luke Cundle's an absolute nothing player. He'll have the ball, he'll give it back. He doesn't like holding the ball for more than 3 seconds. He's lightweight. Another player where he's been to another team and they say, yeah, he's fine, good player, comes to Stoke, and you're watching him thinking, what am I missing?
It is a chance to do the double over Middlesbrough, because earlier in the season, Lewis, and who doesn't win at the Riverside these days, but Stoke rocked up and when they're in form, beat you comfortably 2-0. What sort of Middlesbrough side are you hoping rocks up to the Bet365?
Yeah, I mean, back then, we just won 7 on the bounce, so we were in great form. And I think Stoke had just beaten Leeds. Probably feels like a long time ago for both of us. And Stoke looked really good on the day. Like I say, looks a long time ago now. But yeah, with us, we're very, very Jekyll and Hyde. So, we go away and beat Leicester and then can't beat Plymouth. So, I sure Liam's hoping that the side that turned up for us on Saturday turn up against them. But, it is bad for us at the moment, but, it could be worse. It's a little bit of a, realization that, at least we're not right down there at the moment. So just depends which Borough turns up on Saturday, really, because I think we know it's not going to be great for Stoke. I think if we score early, they could capitulate, the crowd could turn. So I think if we get that early goal, then I can only see it going one way.
Yeah. Liam, that's so important, isn't it? The first goal in this game is probably going to go a long way to decide the winner, isn't it?
Yeah, I think from going behind, we've earned 4 points this season. We come back against Bristol City and won 3-2, and we come back from 1-0 down against Watford and drew 1 each.
Yeah.
Every other time we've gone a goal down, we've lost. Which just shows the character of the team. Absolute bottle jobs, a lot of them.
Yeah. And to say that Vidigal, is your top scorer still with 5 goals, and he hasn't scored in months, is I think just says it all, doesn't it? Yeah. All right then. We'll get some score predictions then from you, Liam. I feel for you, because we're going to lose you from this podcast as well, which is going to be gutting to see your dorsal tones every week. But let's get some predictions. Stoke Middlesbrough, you go first, Liam.
2-0 loss.
God, really?
Yeah. We can't score and we can't defend. We'll concede early, control the game for 80 minutes, and then concede at the end.
All right. So next week we're talking about Allardyce. Yeah, Allardyce is going to be back, or somebody is going to come in.
Somebody will be there.
Pulis, could Pulis come back out?
I think he's retired. Stoke fans love bringing the Pulis card in, but I think he's retired. Just let him be.
I tell you what, he'd sort this team out there, wouldn't he?
They'd all be dropped.
Lewis,
that's the forfeit games.
Score prediction?
Yeah, I think it's one of them for Stoke. A lot of the teams around them obviously won at the weekend. They're now in the bottom 3, so I think it's going to go one or two ways. They either realise that they really are in the mire and try and pull themselves out of it, or they feel sorry for themselves. But unfortunately, I can only see a Borough win. We are better away from home, so I'll go with 2-1. Not quite as convincing as Liam says.
All right, okay. Well, enjoy the game, both of you. Liam, we will definitely talk to you next week. I say hopefully under happy circumstances, but I'm not sure it will be. Cheers, both. Thank you very much. Nice one.
Cheers.
Cheers.